If you've been struggling with postpartum anxiety, I'm so glad you found this video. Postpartum anxiety is not talked about as much as postpartum depression, and even though it's more common, many mums can be a little bit unsure about what their options are for managing it. You may have even initially dismissed those anxious feelings as, well, maybe this is just part of having a baby, maybe I'm just an anxious mum, but those feelings of constant worry about your baby, checking if they're breathing, not being able to leave them with anyone else because you can't trust anyone else to watch them, and even having panic feelings or insomnia. These are all common symptoms of postpartum anxiety and are so draining. They really take away some of that joy of being a mum with a little baby. In this video, I want to show you some really effective ways that you can manage and get relief from postpartum anxiety. I've experienced it myself and I've helped many mums through postpartum anxiety, so it makes me really happy to be able to share this because I want mums to know you do have options. You don't have to just sit with this or write it out. You don't have to accept that this is just part of your motherhood journey. There are things we can do to give you huge relief, some of which you may not have heard of. I'm going to share all that with you in this video, as well as show you how our physiology is really guiding these emotions and feelings. It's not something you've done. It's not that you are an anxious mum. It's really a perfect storm of things that are happening within our body during the postpartum period. I'm Michaela Teresi. I'm a naturopath and nutritionist. I specialize in postpartum health, and I've experienced postpartum anxiety myself after my first daughter. I was able to very successfully manage it then and after the birth of my second daughter, and have helped many mums through it. So I know that there is very effective ways that we can support you through this time. Because during the postpartum stage, there is a lot of different things going on that contribute to those feelings of anxiety. So we've got the extreme drop off in hormones. From the moment our child is born, we go from very, very high levels of progesterone and estrogen dropping way back down to their pre-pregnancy levels. And this withdrawal can have a very big effect on how we feel. So for some people, it can show up as anxiety. For others, it can be more of a mood thing or a combination of both. So nutrient deficiencies are another thing that can contribute to those feelings of intense anxiety when they're in combination with those low hormones. It's very common to be depleted of some pretty critical nutrients during pregnancy because our little baby takes everything that they need, and it does mean that we can enter into postpartum period feeling very depleted. So our stress response system is also undergoing huge changes, and this is the part of our nervous system that governs our response to stress. We call this the HPA axis, and this undergoes big changes during pregnancy and even through the postpartum period. We actually receive a bit of an upgrade here so that our mama bear instincts are more attuned to our baby's needs, but what can happen is this mama bear instinct can go into overdrive and we can end up in a very hyper vigilant mode where we're always feeling wired, on edge, and having those worried sort of feelings all the time. If you haven't watched my postpartum hormone video, I highly recommend it. It goes into a little bit more depth of what's going on hormonally and all those different changes I just talked about, and gives you a really deep appreciation for what our body goes through. So we've got the hormonal roller coaster, the mama bear instincts in overdrive, so our nervous system is very dysregulated in fight or flight mode. We may be lacking critical nutrients that we need that are the building blocks for happy, healthy hormones and anti-anxiety effects, and possibly even low thyroid function. I mean, we've got a lot going on, right? On top of that, we're going through a huge life adjustment. There may be certain issues or demands that come up in that time as well, like your postpartum recovery. There may be feeding issues, birth trauma, lack of support at home. All of these are additional stresses to the body. And stress is going to affect your body's ability to regulate your nervous system and have that nice changeover and balance of hormones. So what we want to do is bring the body out of fight or flight mode, help the body produce those nice calming neurotransmitters, and create an environment that helps the body feel safe, relaxed, and balanced. Remember that you are a unique individual, so all of these may not apply to you, but they are what I find gives really quick relief. So they're all very safe, breastfeeding friendly, but check with your naturopath. So let's start with what I find gives the quickest relief, and that is using herbal medicine. Herbal medicine is truly, in my opinion, the best supportive tool for dealing with postpartum anxiety because of the way it helps the body produce those calming neurotransmitters and regulate our stress hormones. The first one is passion flower, and this is easily my favorite herb for any types of anxiety, but particularly postpartum anxiety. So this works by increasing GABA, our main calming neurotransmitter. Low GABA can be common in postpartum anxiety because of the low estrogen and progesterone. It also works on increasing serotonin, and it's been shown to be as effective as anti-anxiety medication. I like to give this to moms in tincture form so that they can have it in part of their main mix, but also if they need to have a little acute dose if they're feeling panicky or dealing with insomnia or those racing thoughts. The other herb I use a lot in my postpartum mixes is ashwagandha, or also known as Withania somnifera. And I like this herb because it is an adaptogen. So it means it literally helps the body adapt to stress. It works on the HPA axis and helps to regulate cortisol, our stress hormone. And this is important because when we are under stress, the body will prioritize producing cortisol over our other hormones, which is not what we want when we're trying to get our postpartum hormones nice and balanced. It's incredibly soothing for the nervous system and is really help with mood, anxiety, and insomnia. So I will often use these two herbs in combination with some other nervous system, nervine herbs, but I did want to highlight those two because they are the most common that I use with postpartum anxiety. So next up is our foundational nutrients, our building blocks for healthy hormones, nervous system regulation, and calm. And the first one is magnesium. Magnesium is our anti-stress nutrient. It calms our nervous system and regulates our stress response, our HPA axis. It also supports thyroid health, which can affect mood and anxiety if that's out of balance, which can happen during the postpartum stage. And I also recommend magnesium anytime that we're going through times of stress or needing additional support for our nervous system. So low zinc in combination with low progesterone, low estrogen can cause intense anxiety because it suppresses GABA, our calming neurotransmitter, and serotonin, our happy hormone. We also need zinc to keep our copper levels in check. During pregnancy, our copper levels become quite elevated, and after having our baby, for some women, they stay elevated. Elevated copper does also contribute to intense anxiety. DHA, if you've watched any of my postpartum recovery videos, you will know I recommend this every single time because it is so important for postpartum mums. During pregnancy, our baby takes so much DHA from us. They have really high needs, and unless you're eating a lot of fish, you really need to be supplementing with DHA to make sure that you don't become deficient. Why? Because DHA literally feeds our nervous system. This is essential when we're looking at anything like anxiety, mood, insomnia. Anytime our nervous system needs regulation in the postpartum stage, DHA is always something that I will have a look at to see if we need to supplement. Most of the time we do. So there are other things that you may want to get checked out with the guidance of a health practitioner. So thyroid function, as I mentioned, can affect mood and anxiety. Low vitamin D and low iron as well are common with contributing to those feelings of anxiety and overwhelm. Another really easy way to help your nervous system regulate, bring you out of that fight or flight mode, is with proper diaphragm breathing. So belly breathing. Now I'm pregnant at the moment, so it kind of already looks like I am already taking a deep breath in. But what we want to do is laying down or in a comfortable position, or even, you know, if you're feeding your baby and you're having those bit of a panicky moment, breathing in through the belly, inhaling and just letting the belly rise, the chest doesn't move. So breathing in and breathing out. And doing this breath work, it can give you such big relief so quickly. This is why things like meditation and yoga can work really well, because it's actually regulating the nervous system through your breath. I recommend doing at least 5 minutes a day, making it a non-negotiable. It's just part of your routine. You find 5 minutes every day for intentional relaxation so you can pull yourself out of fight or flight and into that relaxation mode. Using breath work is one of the easiest ways to do that. You can do it anywhere. You can do it sitting next to your baby, popping some earphones in and listening to a guided meditation, a gratitude practice, anything that helps you calm and lets your body feel safe and relaxed is going to be really beneficial with what we're trying to do holistically here for postpartum anxiety. Now, of course, nutrition and looking at your gut health and things like that are really important too, but I have done videos if you're interested in diving a little bit more into that. I've really loved creating this video for you, and the main thing I want you to take away from it is that there are options for you. You don't have to sit with this. Please don't. You deserve to feel relaxed, calm, and enjoy this time with your baby without feeling that constant fear and worry. You know, those thoughts might come back, those feelings of anxiety might come back. I still experience that sometimes where I feel myself going into hypervigilant mode. All I do is see that as a signal that I need to regulate my nervous system. My nervous system needs some more support. Remember that you are the best mother for your child. Take care.